Wow. It is it is our last day of Ebertfest, and I'm looking in the audience just to see how many people are left, because one of the things or we were wondering is how many people come on Sundays. Do you like Sundays, or should it end Saturday night? Oh. Okay. All right. Maybe I shouldn't have asked. Before we go any further, there are so many people that I want to thank. The people who do the shooting and who had that lovely party for us are Luke Boyce and Brett Hayes, the Shatterglass guys. And actually, we have the stage manager and all of the people doing everything here at the Virginia Theater. Thank you, guys. You are so wonderful. We also have the Melissa Murley and the News Gazette. And I know this is the only film festival where we thank journalists, but because Roger was a journalist, we really appreciate journalists, and I like writers, so. And it is also a film critics festival. I remember when we used to go around to other film festivals, of course Roger Ebert is always going to be treated well, but I would watch how the other film critics or some of the other journalists at festivals were kind of, you know, they're just like an annoyance. It's good that they're here, but. So I like having our guys here, and I thank you, all of the writers from RogerEbert.com. Thank you. Someone else who has been helping me by my side for over 20 years is my personal assistant, Carol Awada, and she's here. And this year, after Roger passed away, and one day I'm going to be able to use the word died, but passed away, and I just have to, you know, I digress, as I do. I used to think, why do people use euphemisms for death? Because death is a part of life. One day, I'm going to tell you about this ongoing experience that I'm having with Roger, and that's why I don't use the word die, because he truly exists even now, eternally. And I like to say, love is eternal, and I've discovered that there is an afterlife. And I'm going to be telling you about that experience, not today. I'm writing about it. And that's why it's hard for me to use the word death, because he is so alive and so vital, and he sometimes takes this stuff in. He's doing other things in his own realm, so this is not his primary concern. But when he does check in with us, he gets a big kick out of this. He still does. So that's why he transitioned. And he's actually given me permission to say that. Before he would say, "Oh, Chaz, you're so woo-woo," and all of that stuff. Guess what? He's gotten even more woo-woo than me. Because he knows the secret now. He knows what there is. So that's why I don't use the word die and death, although it's still appropriate. It's part of our language. Now I've gotten myself way off base, and I don't know where I was going with it. Oh, yes, I was going to say one of the things that happened after Roger transitioned is that, you know, my family was concerned about me, and my son left Florida and came to move in with me. And also, my nephew, Daniel Jackson, became our project manager because the family wanted somebody to help sort of watch over me and watch over the business. So thank you, Daniel. And I always have to introduce my daughter, Sonia, and people always say how pretty she is. She's as beautiful on the inside as she is on the outside. Sonia Evans. And I would introduce my grandson, but I don't see him back there. I think is he? No, all right. Anyway, so family came. Now, I'm doing this and I'm deliberately keeping Sherry up here because, oh, wait, excuse me, one more. You know how this film festival has the best projection. We get pristine prints. We have, that's James Bond. Joaquin de la Puente, Travis Bird, all under the direction of James Bond, who's been with us from year one. Thank you, James. And Roger always gave me flowers. And there's a gentleman this morning who I think he's been coming to the festival. He may be from Champaign. I don't know his name. He just gave me, this is so beautiful. I said, I'm going to take it on stage. And Roger thanks you. I'm just joking. I don't know if Roger thanks you for this or not, but I thank you. No, you know, let me tell you the other thing before I tell you why Sherry is on stage. Someone asked, when I come out, the stage guy tells me, the guy back there who gives me all the instructions on what to do when I come out here, asked, how long do you think it will take? Is it going to take 30 seconds or is it going to take 2 minutes? I said, you tell me. Because when I come out here, I do have an agenda for the things that I'm supposed to say, but I don't know. And Roger always told me, Roger was more of an extemporaneous speaker, and I was as well, but you prepare beforehand, of course. I practiced law, I was a trial attorney, and I would be over-prepared to go into court, and I never had to use notes or refer to things because at one time, I had a photographic memory. I don't have that anymore, but so it was very easy for me to prepare. As long as you're prepared, you can remember things. Now I have to write things down, and I should, so I don't keep wandering off topic. But one of the things I wanted to make sure that I tell you, and we're going to put it on Ebertfest.com, one year, Sherry and we all sent around cards and pens, and so that people could write things about films they may want to see or just suggestions about how to make the film festival, even more comfortable for them or more exciting or whatever. And we had all of these in our house, and we had them in a cardboard box, and we had them all in piles, and we had a flood in our house, and all of the suggestions and cards, we tried to go through them. The ink just faded, they're all gone. So this time, we have a website that, I have an email address that I want to give you if you have suggestions, and they will actually come to me. It's karmic333@yahoo.com. That's KARMIC333@yahoo.com. So if you have any suggestions or you want to just send a comment or anything, you send it to that email address and it will get to me. The East Lobby people want me to tell you that they will be open for books, t-shirts, hats, everything. And I think it supports, I don't know, the Virginia Theater or the Park District, or it supports something. So something good that we need to help keep things going. And I also want to make a pitch for Scott Anderson to be able to complete the money he was raising for that beautiful sculpture of Roger outside. If you, even if you can put $1 in his box or whatever, if some of you can give more, please do. He wants to try to get it completed so that they can, the city's going to prepare a place outside of the Virginia Theater for a permanent home for it, and they have just a little more things to finish it up. But Scott and Donna Anderson are here, and I hear that Rick Harney, the artist, is also here today. Rick, will you please stand? Thank you. Rick, we have been watching every day to see how people interact with the sculpture. And Nate Cohen this morning was saying how reverently people approach it, that they don't approach it like it's a carnival spectacle or anything like that, that they approach it reverently. And also the people, and I do want you to know, it's absolutely okay to sit and take pictures with it. That's not how I choose to relate to it right now. Like any other work of art, the first thing that I do is kind of analyze it and look at it and just drink it in and appreciate it. I can't. And for me, it's also so personal right now that I don't want to sit in the chair. You can, it's all right. But the way I'm relating to it right now is different. So I just don't want anyone to interpret something, because I heard someone say something about, oh, I haven't seen any pictures of Chaz sitting next to it. That's why. And you won't see any right now. Maybe one day you will, but right now, that's the way that I am relating to it. And Rick, thank you. Your work is beautiful. I am so happy it's going to be right outside of the Virginia Theater. Sherry. I'm going to go back to the microphone, but Sherry is standing here because Sherry Slade was one of the... All right, thank you. They know they should always give me a walking microphone as well. Sherry Slade is one of the volunteers who helped take such good care of Roger back there. I am so grateful to you for so many years that you stood back there, and I see you have a chair this year. You should have one. But you were just, you and all of the other volunteers. There are so many volunteers that we need to help make this festival a success. And from my years of being a trial attorney, that's why I walk back and forth, because I used to look at everybody sitting in the jury box. And I like to, you don't like to, when I'm sitting someplace, I said, well, why are they always looking that way? And I'm sitting over here. So thank you for coming. Thank you for, oh, I make it sound like the festival is ending. It's not. We actually have a movie and a lot of other things. But I just wanted, please give me a big hand for Sherry and all the volunteers. And now, we like to have, we've started sort of a thing where on Sundays we like to end with something that's slightly musically related. And today we have a real treat for you. It's the film Bayou Maharajah. But before we introduce the film and the director, Willie Kieber, I understand that our very own James Bond has a surprise for you. And this is put together by James Bond, Joaquin de la Puente, and Travis Bird. I don't even know what it is, but let's look. Thank you, James. One of the things that I do want to mention is some people have asked about little, maybe could one of the academic panels focus on some of the technical aspects. And so, James, you have to come out of that booth next year and sit on a panel with us. And the other thing that I noticed as Michael Mirasol's beautiful trailer is playing, Michael, will you please stand? Michael Mirasol does that beautiful trailer that before every movie. I know I just get such a feeling of having Roger being included. And I forget we have all of these years of broadcast where he actually, reviewed some of these movies. And I think that what we'll do when we can is if we have movies that have been reviewed by him, we did that a little bit before, but I want to do it even more, add the review to the movie as well. Do you think that's a good idea? Because when he is passionate about a movie, there is no one better. No one better. Actually, I think even when he doesn't like a movie, there's no one better. I see Henry Butler here. I am so glad, the musician Henry Butler. Roger would be so glad that you're here. And I think the last time I saw you was probably at the Conference on World Affairs. Is that true? Okay. Thank you for coming. We're going to be introducing you at the end, but I see you sitting there, and I just wanted to acknowledge you because we are really thrilled that you're here. Now I am going to I don't want to say the wrong thing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn the festival over to Nate and let Nate take it from here because I'm just in this strange place. All of my energy came back today, and so my thoughts are like bouncing around, and this festival couldn't continue the way that it does without the support of the College of Media here at the University of Illinois and Nate Cohen and Mary Susan Britt. So, Nate, will you come out, please?
Chaz probably doesn't want me to tell you this, but she's been drinking green smoothies every morning. And that might account for a little bit of the energy that she has. It's great to see such a large crowd here on a Sunday at noon. I just want to thank you from my heart as well for the support, the continuing support you've shown this festival, and to let you know that it's going to continue and it's going to get better and better every year. So I'm in a vaguely awkward position because I helped produce this next film. But the person who really did the work on it, who made the film, whose idea it was, and who's still living with the film every single day is Lily Keeber. I first met her, I think in 2004 when we were shooting the film Somebodies. Were any of you here then? Remember Haji? Lily was one of the 3 crew members left standing at the end of the Somebodies shoot. Got paid no money, but we stayed in touch over the years, and she's gone on to be a really exceptional documentary filmmaker. She lives in New Orleans. She moved there just after Katrina. And I'm going to let her introduce her film, Bayou Maharajah. Lily?
I think pretty much everything that needs to be said has already been said. I certainly want to thank you all for coming out on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, especially for a double feature. Again, you all get two of New Orleans' finest piano players in one sitting. So, thank you. And I just want to thank Henry Butler again for coming this way. He really is such a treat. The film I've seen before, so I have to say I'm probably more excited about seeing Henry. Yeah, we'll have a short Q&A afterwards, so I hope you all enjoy, and we'll see you soon.